Alright, here I am on the exterior. You've got the power stairs down here. So these will open up if the RV is, if you park it and you open the door, they'll come open automatically. And they'll stay out depending on where you have this button. So right here we've got a step on and off. On means that it'll give it power. So if you put it on every time you shut the door, the stairs will shut. So please don't get on the stairs until they're out all the way, and if they're moving, get off them, or it will damage the gears in the motor. So let it on all the way before you get on. Alright. So usually if you're camping, your setup, just turn that off, and that way when you're getting in and out, when you open the door and shut it, you're not going to have to worry about the stairs opening and closing. When you start the vehicle up, the stairs will automatically go back up either way. Even if the step is on off and you have them out, once you turn the key, they will close. But you always want to make sure before you drive away that they're up. So one thing I like to do whenever I travel, close this door, and it kind of has two different spots. If you close it lightly, you can kind of see some light through the door and it moves around. But if you pull at that last notch, then it'll shut all the way. And then I lock the top and I lock the bottom and slide this. That way you don't have to worry about any kids or anything accidentally hitting the handle while you're driving. So we'll open it up. There are a few cabinets on this side and they lock. So this gray key here will unlock them. And then here I've got a fire ring, there's a folding table, and then this tray that goes over on the side that I've never used and should probably just throw off. But if you want to use it, it's there. And sometimes these don't shut all the way. You can kind of see there's a little gap there, so just kick it. It'll shut all the way. So I always do that when I shut them. Just give it a little nudge, and then before I travel, I lock it too. That way, it's extra secure. And if you're going to be anywhere that you don't trust, then you don't have to worry about people going in. This next storage cabinet here also has the water tank. So if you wanted to drain the tank for any reason, you can just open that valve up. So let's say you've been camping for a while, you want to freshen your water and dump it out, or if you're going to travel for a while and you don't want 500 pounds sitting in the water tank when you're driving. And here there's radio that you can use outside. And down in this one, I've just got some random things. There's a grill here. You pull this out, there's a stand here, and these will pop out. Open the grill up like so, and you can see somebody's used it. Needs a little cleanup. So if you want to use the grill, you're going to grab the propane hose, which I'm not seeing in here. Well, I'll hold off on that, I guess. Here's the propane tank. Open and close the valve. All the way to the left is closed, or sorry, open. All the way to the right is closed. So I usually just leave this on all the time. That way your fridge will be able to be cooled while you're driving. Legally, you do have to have that turned off when you're at a gas station filling up, or if you go into a restricted tunnel. And there's also risk, let's say if you got in an accident and one of the gas lines opened up, that could be dangerous. So the recommendation would be to drive with it closed, just for safety's sake and legality's sake. I'll leave that up to you. I leave it open. Right there is just how full it is. It can only be 75% full, so a 3/4 full gauge is actually a full tank. Right down here is one of the leveling jacks. So if you have an issue where the leveling jack isn't going up all the way, there's 2 back here and 2 in the front. This one back here is usually the one that causes the most problems. There should be a big piece of wood over in one of the side cabinets, and you can just put it underneath it, kind of sit down on your butt and pry up on it, and then once it goes up a certain amount of way, you can twist it over the board over, so you can get a little more leverage on it. If there's any of that silver rod showing, the alarms will probably go off. One thing that I like to do, it's actually recommended to lubricate these with WD-40. So I have a can of WD-40 over on the left side compartment, and I would just recommend a little bit. So I would just recommend a little bit before you're ready to go. Just take a can of WD-40 and just spray a shot on the rod like that. Maybe go around it even, but just a little bit, and that should help it go up. I looked around for my hose for my grill, and it looks like it must have been misplaced by the previous renter. So I will work on getting another one of those, but if I have it, you would use it by unscrewing this right here, hooking the adapter up to that, and then the hose, the quick connect hose, and then the hose to the other end of the grill. The grill doesn't have an automatic igniter, so you do have to use a lighter for it. And when you take it off of here, it might spray a little bit of propane out. So if you want, you can close the valve before, and that'll help with that. If it sprays a little bit out, might be a little cold, might be a little stinky, but it's not much. So again, I gotta kick these things a little bit. Alright, on the other side here, we got 3 storage compartments. In here, usually have some oil, an extra sewer hose, some slide, lubricant, transmission fluid, spark plug wires, hopefully stuff you don't have to worry about. There's some more storage in here. Here's the gas filler. Just twist this open and fill it up. But you do have to be careful. Sometimes the hose nozzle will get kind of caught in here. Just a bad design, I guess. But just be cognizant of that when you're removing it. You might have to muscle it out or kind of angle it just right so it doesn't get caught. You'll see what I mean when you fill up. Alright. In here we've got the septic and the water. So these and the electric, all of these nice little setups here where to have the hose or cord running out and having the compartment shut, you're just going to flip these red tabs up, straight up, and then you can just kind of pop this whole thing down, slide this rubber part out, then you can put your hose or your electrical cord through there, pop that back up, and then you can shut your compartment. When it's time to leave, just do the opposite, pop the rubber back down, get that up, and turn these red tabs 90 degrees. So right here we've got the gray and the black water. There's the hose for that. Just open up the cap, put the orange end on, pull the one on the pull the black one on the right, let that all drain out, shut that valve, pull the one on the left for the gray water to rinse all the stuff out. And Then up here you can hook a flushing hose up. You'll usually have a red hose. The blue one is usually potable. Don't use the blue. Usually they'll have a red. And let that run for a couple minutes with the black open, and that'll rinse out the tank. Then when you're done, you'll take the hose off and let it drain really good so you don't trap anything in there, and scrunch it back up. The water hose here, you've got a filler nozzle here, so if you want to fill the tank, or if you get to a campsite and you have a water hookup, all you got to do is hook the hose up to that, and if you're at a site, you can just turn the hose on and that will give you pressure. That way you don't need to run the water pump. If you're filling the tank, you'll hook the hose up, turn it on, and then slowly turn this to tank fill. Then when you're done filling it, put it back to normal. So normal is for running water. Alright, the last one here is the electric. It's got this same setup where you can bend these or twist these tabs up straight up and pop it open. In here we've got the cord set up for 50 amp service, so you plug that in if you got 50. Otherwise, there's some adapters. Let's see here. So we've got this one that'll convert it from 50 down to 30, and then another one that you plug into that to convert it from 30 down to 20 or 15 to plug into a normal outlet. There's also an extension cord in here. There's a cable TV hookup, and that's pretty much it. If you need to get in the hood for anything, there's a latch here, and another one here. So just put your hand in, find it, pull it, and then you'll be able to check the oil if you need to. Hopefully you won't have to worry about that. I would not recommend using the awning. There's just too many things that can go wrong with it, and I don't want you to have problems. So right now it's actually in a half broken state from the previous renter, so that's kind of why I recommend that. So that's about everything.